I was setting up for my son Tommy's 10th birthday party when his terrified scream echoed through the neighborhood. By the time I reached the front yard, my blood ran cold. Barbara Wilson, our HOA president, red-faced, had her hands gripped tightly around the handlebars of Tommy's brand new, bright red mountain bike. "This isn't yours. Put it down right now," she shrieked, yanking the bike away from my son, who was desperately trying to hold on. I sprinted across the lawn as I saw her hand make contact with his shoulder in an unmistakable shove. Tommy had been begging for that mountain bike for months. I had just given it to him. We had brought the bike out front while setting up, and I told him he could ride it up and down the street. Barbara must have spotted him and immediately jumped to conclusions. "Ma'am, please take your hands off my son and his bike," I said, trying to keep my voice steady despite the rage building inside me. Neighbors were gathering, some recording. Barbara spun around, contorted with self-righteous indignation. "The Millers down the street just reported a bike stolen, and it looks exactly like this one. I was on my way to inspect the Thompsons' unapproved garden gnomes when I caught this little thief in action." Tommy, still on the ground, looked up. "Dad, tell her you gave it to me for my birthday today." Barbara let out a condescending laugh. "Oh, how convenient. You're teaching your son to lie too. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? I always knew there was something suspicious about you people moving into this neighborhood." I stepped between Barbara and my son. Barbara scoffed, pointing an accusatory finger. "I'm confiscating this bike until the real owner can be identified." When Tommy instinctively reached for it, crying, "No, it's mine," Barbara actually shoved him backward with enough force that he fell again. "Don't you dare touch my son," I shouted. "What is wrong with you? He's a child. He shouldn't be resisting an HOA official," she retorted. "I'm performing my duties. This is theft, plain and simple." My neighbor, Mrs. Chun, stepped forward, phone held up. "I've been recording this whole thing, Barbara. You just pushed a child to the ground. That's assault." Barbara's head snapped toward Mrs. Chun. "I did no such thing. He fell while trying to run away with stolen property. I'm the victim here." Then we heard police sirens approaching. Barbara's expression shifted to smug satisfaction. "Finally. Now we'll get this sorted out. You'll see what happens when you break the rules in my neighborhood." Officer Martinez and his partner arrived. Barbara immediately launched into her version. She caught the boy stealing, the father threatened her, and she was simply performing her duties as HOA president to maintain integrity. I took a deep breath. "Officer Martinez, today is my son's 10th birthday. That bike is his present from me. I have the receipt in my wallet and about 20 witnesses. This woman accosted my son, accused him of theft without evidence, and then physically pushed him to the ground." Officer Martinez turned to Barbara. "Ma'am, did you physically touch the child?" "Absolutely not," she insisted. Mrs. Chun handed over her phone. The officer watched the footage with a deepening frown. "And I have the gift receipt," I added, showing the date of purchase from 3 weeks ago. Another neighbor called out, confirming they saw us bring the bike home that morning. The second officer interjected, "We've had no reports of stolen bicycles in this area. And even if there had been, that wouldn't authorize you to physically confront a child or take property without verification." Officer Martinez turned back to Barbara. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to step away from the bicycle. Based on the evidence we've seen, including video footage and multiple witness statements, you physically assaulted a minor and attempted to take his property under false pretenses." Barbara's confidence faltered. But I'm the HOA president. This is my responsibility too." Officer Martinez interrupted. "Barbara Wilson, you're under arrest for assault on a minor and attempted theft. You have the right to remain silent." The collective gasp from the neighborhood was audible. Barbara's face drained of all color as the officers escorted her away. "This is outrageous. Do you know who I am? I'll have your badge for this." I knelt beside Tommy, reassuring him, "No, buddy. She's getting arrested because of her own actions. No one has the right to hurt you or take your things." 3 months later, Barbara pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault and attempted theft. The judge sentenced her to 6 months probation, a $5,000 fine, mandatory anger management classes, and a restraining order requiring her to stay 100 feet away from our family at all times. She was unanimously voted off the HOA board in an emergency session the week after her arrest. The last I heard, Barbara was putting her house up for sale, unable to face the neighbors who had witnessed her downfall. As she was loading boxes into a moving truck, I caught her eye across the street. She stood frozen, her face a mixture of humiliation and lingering anger. Then without a word, she turned and hurried back inside, slamming the door.